Hey guys, it's Jay. Welcome back to my channel, where we discuss the popular culture of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. As always, I'm trying to do a few different things with this channel, and today I wanted to share something really special. I might have discussed this before, maybe not, but I'm a really big fan of swords and sorcery. I really enjoy things like Lord of the Rings, King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, samurais, gigantic robots. Yeah, you know, I just really love swords. There's something mystique about them. They are not something where you can just shoot a guy from like 50 paces, you know, kill somebody without ever having seen their faces. It's a weapon of a bygone era, something which is really out of place in today's society. But there's something mystical about it, magical, if you will. And I have always had a great fascination with swords. Some of you might have noticed in the background here, I just happen to have a few swords from my collection. Now, I've been collecting swords for quite a while, and I really do love the tactile nature of swords. You know, the fact that they're made of metal, the feeling, the actual elegance of the design. The fact that somebody actually, well, in the past made this by hand. Obviously, this is a replica and was probably mass produced in China somewhere. But the idea of swords has always fascinated me. So today, I want to share a few things with you and make this into sort of a series of reviews for replica swords which I've been able to collect over the years, or that some of my friends have been able to collect and I have the opportunity to review them. So, let's get started. Guys, I'm extremely excited to be able to bring this to you. As some of you might know, I am a huge Lord of the Rings fan. And I really wanted to take a look at this replica, which I was fortunate enough to be able to review today. So, without further ado, let's get started. As you can see, the actual front of the box is very indicative of the Lord of the Rings branding. In the background, you can actually see the map of Middle-earth. And it's been dyed in an actual wonderful burgundy color, which really helps to bring out the sword, on the picture of the sword right in the front. United Cutlery is really well known for their replica brand swords, and I think that you'll be very happily surprised with the way this one turns out. Let's get into the unboxing, guys. So, as I said, the front is a wonderful design. The back actually has a few images from the movie, and I'll be putting up some of the actual pictures on our Facebook page as well as my webpage, and probably some pictures on Twitter as well. Okay, so the best way to do this is just to get started. So we have to flip the box back on its front, and what you want to do is you just want to push out. Actually, you know what? Let's go from the other side. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to just take this and push the actual styrofoam out from the other side. And we'll just bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Okay. Okay, stop. Okay. All right, so the shell of the box has done its job. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes. Alright guys, let's have our first look at Narsil. Wow. The packaging is well thought out. As you can see, they've actually done a complete cutout of Narsil into the actual styrofoam. Alright, let's take her out. Oh my god. Okay guys, this is really heavy. Okay, you're gonna have to forgive me, I'm gonna put that down. And hey, there's something here. It's interesting. Let's take a look at that. Maybe it's some warranty information. Oh. Alright, let's put this down. Okay, so, what is this? Okay. Oh, okay. It's the plaque, I guess, for the wall mounting plaque. And it comes with a bracket and 2 screw brackets as well. Okay. Alright, well, we don't basically, you know what? That's basically what it looks like, guys. Beautiful plaque. It's got the Tree of the King motif and some other sort of heraldry. Pretty interesting. In the back, it's got an official Lord of the Rings, I guess that proves that this is the actual product itself and not a cheap Chinese knockoff. Awesome. So we'll put this aside. Alright guys, now for the main event. So these swords were actually released, oh god, pretty much immediately after the movie was made. So that would have been in 1999, 2000. And I think these particular versions were purchased around 2002, maybe 2003. Obviously, we're well beyond that now. And I'm not sure what the current editions would look like. But here we're going to be talking about the... If it isn't the first release of this sword, it probably is one of the first editions. Okay, so let's get the plastic off and we'll have a closer look at Narsil. Wow, this is just incredible, guys. Now, we're going to try and zoom in as much as we can to see some of the incredible detailing here, but if you would just go up and down the length of the blade, you can see that it is not a small sword. This, I'm going to have to double check the measurements, but it's about 40, the blade itself is about 44 inches long. Now, from tip to handle, I'm not sure, but the blade is 44 inches long, I believe. I'll have all the full stats on the actual description below, but let's just take a look at some of the finer details of the sword. So, if we take a look at the pommel, one of the artists and the creative team has mentioned, I believe it was, actually I'm not sure who it was, but they mentioned that this actually is the first hollow pommel on film history. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but you can't deny it is a wonderful design. If we zoom in on this portion of the handle, you can see the elven inscriptions that are inlaid into the actual pommel itself. I'm not sure what the actual inscriptions say, but the reason the elven inscriptions were put into this actual sword is, first of all, it was a gift from the elves to Elendil, and these elven inscriptions help to strengthen and imbue magical properties into the sword. Let's flip it over, and I believe the inscriptions are the exact same on the other side, if I'm not mistaken. If somebody would like to let me know if that's different or if it's true, please leave that in the comment section below. All right, let's take a look at the hilt. Let's take a look at the crossbar. Now, the crossbar is wonderfully detailed. It stays in the same motif as the pommel, with this little, I guess that's brass inlet, and the hollow pieces in the middle. The etching here is very reminiscent of the pommel. It keeps that same design, that same fluidity throughout the entire piece. If we come back down to the middle of the crossbar, now we can start looking at the actual handle itself. Now, it is a single-handed sword for where the grip is, which is a leather-bound grip, And just by feeling the grip itself, I think it is real leather. I'm pretty sure. It might be pleather, but just from the grip, it seems to me as if it's real leather. Okay? Now, if you need it to be a two-handed sword, which pretty much any man, any person would need to have this as a two-handed sword, you can grasp the other handle part, which doesn't have the grip, and you can actually take it for that extra bit of torque and that extra bit of strength that you need to actually wield this incredibly large sword. Now, if we go down one more time again on the length of the blade, you can see that the fuller is a single fuller almost all the way down the length of the blade. It just stops just shy 2/4 up the length of the blade itself. Well, I should also mention now that it has a false edge, so it appears to be sharp. There, you can see if you look down here, it mimics the idea of sharpness, but if you were to run your finger across, you see that I don't cut myself. So it is actually a false edge. A wonderful looking blade, guys. Incredible attention to detail from United Cutlery. If you guys have ever been on the fence about thinking about picking this blade up, I would say bite the bullet, make the purchase. It's an incredible movie replica. I would highly recommend it. And I really have to thank the person who lent me the sword so that I could take a look at it today. So now to the cons. I really can't say too much about the sword itself. It really is a well-made replica. In terms of displaying this in your home, I think it would look handsomely in anyone's house. Obviously, it comes with a wonderful plaque design, but one of the things that I do have to mention is that if you were to turn this around, you can actually see. Now it's going to be this is going to be interesting. You can actually see that there is a engraving, an actual stamping of the Lord of the Rings branding right on the sword itself. Unfortunately, guys, this is what it is. And in order to remove this stamping, I imagine you might end up ruining the finish on that portion of the blade. So, fortunately as well, the handle grip, the sewing, or the stitching if you will, the seam, is actually also on the portion where this branding is. So in that case, when you're displaying it on your wall, if that's where you choose to display it, you could easily turn it around to display only the movie portion, the hero portion of the sword itself, which is what I would recommend. Other than that, guys, one thing I do have to warn you all, because it really, I guess it has to be mentioned at least once or twice. This is a movie replica blade. It is not meant to be used as a prop. The main reason is because the tang does not go the full length of the blade. This is called a rat tail design. It only comes as far up as it needs to be able to bear the weight of the rest of the blade. Thereby, when it hangs, it makes it the most weighted to be able to handle the weight on an actual drywall. So once again, guys, I really recommend not using these if you're going to be reenacting some sort of Lord of the Rings moment. These are not to be swung around at all. Doubling that fact is this is not spring steel. If you were to try and bend this like they do in the movies, it will not bend. It will go a certain amount of distance, and it's possible it will actually stay in that position. This is 440 stainless steel, and it is meant as a decorative piece. Alright guys, that was our look at United Cutlery's Lord of the Rings Narsil review. If you like this video, please leave a like. If you have any questions or comments about this video, please leave that in the description below. Well guys, as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please click the like button and consider subscribing to my channel for more reviews like this one. And as always, thanks for watching.